Hello and good prepping to everybody. We are here today to talk about the prepping philosophy. What is behind the idea of start prepping? Why you, I, and I think everybody should start prepping. It's not really that hard to understand why everybody should start prepping. It's just because we live in a world um, cut. So let's see why you, me, and everybody should start prepping. Prepping is not that fancy thing or activity that you can see on the TV shows like Doomsday Preppers, but I'm not going to talk about that. Prepping is something a little bit different. The idea of prepping is, first of all, an idea of being prepared for some kind of situations, a gone wrong situations. The shit hit the fans, or shit hits the fan, or whatever you want. What I mean is that I don't think that major disasters, I mean worldwide disaster, may happen. Uh, I mean in a short period of time, but I'm not sure about that. Maybe there might be flares from the sun that brings us back to the medieval period. There might be huge earthquakes that maybe not going to be the whole world, but probably a whole country. Yes, it happened in Haiti. There are many things that might happen. I don't really think about economical collapses as we think it, whereas many people, I mean, many preppers think it. There's never going to be a so huge collapse, a world collapse or a country collapse that will bring everything out of total control. I mean, Somalia, that is without government uh, from I think the 90s. It's one in all the countries we have, and people are still living in not a bug out way. They just continued living. Yeah, there are cruelty and everything you want. That's the human way of uh, going, a behavior. But it's always everything gonna stabilize in a while. So I think that prepping is mostly about being able to survive for a short period of time before this stabilization. Our, I don't, not our parents, maybe not either our grandparents, but I mean before, earlier than World War I and II, people were used to have their pantries full. They were used to have wood to heat the house for a winter long. They were used to have different ways to find water. They were used to have a different way to contact with the neighbors, where everybody was helping each other. These are all things that in the past 60, 70 years are totally gone. We're used to go to the supermarket and get the things we need for the next couple of days or at least the week, but not more. Uh, we rely on the public gas to heat the house, or the electricity to see, and that's it. We are relying in too many systems or other persons to be really homestead, I mean, or off the grid. You don't need to be off the grid every day, so forget all those persons that just cut the energy wire. I don't want it. Cut the gas. I don't want it. But just understand that sometimes, even if you don't want to, you're going to be out of that. here in this house we have the electricity, but we have no public water, we have no public gas. So we have um, a diesel heater for the house and a gas one for the other part. But mostly we use wood to heat the house. We have 30,000 liters water reserve under the house, and we have 3 creeks going around the property. I know we are lucky. In the city, they're not going to be able to do that. Okay, it's your choice to live in a city. It's what you choose, and you're gonna face your decisions in case of an emergency. But don't talk about this. This is a really a prepping technical thing, and forget it. We are talking about the philosophy. Philosophy tells you that you gotta reach a situation where you are gonna be able for a short while to be independent from any kind of help or the normal conditions. Why doing this? Not only because you help your family, for sure that's the first reason, but it's also because you have to understand that the government, FEMA, or anybody, the emergency squads, everybody that's trying to help you is gonna have an easier way and work if many people are prepping. If you there might be still pretty young, or anyway you are able to help yourself, you have a civil duty to do that. Why? Because the emergency squads can help the persons that really are in need of that help. If you can do it by yourself, do it by yourself. Let the emergency squads be free to help the wounded ones, the very old persons, the handicapped, the handicapped persons, the families with very small children that might have more problems than you have. That's why I say that prepping is not a fancy thing for, I mean, desktop special forces or rednecks or just person that, I don't know, a military addicted persons. Prepping is for everybody, and it's a civil duty to be prepped for a minor disaster. I don't talk about, as I said before, the worldwide disaster like the 2012 Incas premonition. I would say it's talking about earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes, a huge snowfall that blocks everything. That's what I mean is prepping on the base. And that is why I mean that every single person should be a prepper. Just this kind of prepper. 72 hours autonomy. In the first 72 hours, the emergency plan has to start, get on the road, get there, and help those really in need. If somebody is under the rocks or I mean the concrete of a fallen house, it needs to be helped first. And what about you? If you're just outside of the house, nobody's gonna help you, and it's right that way. You're not in you're not, life is not a risk, so nobody's gonna help you, and it's right to be that way. So going to the camps that the emergencies are doing, the emergency squads, or I don't know how you call it, Anyway, the emergency squads are building to help people stay there. Just don't waste their time and their food when you're totally in health. That's what I mean for prepping. You have to be able to let the emergency plan go on. Don't waste their energy and their supplies for a person that is able to be self-sufficient and be able to help also. But I can't tell you to help the emergency squads, but at least don't bug them. So get your bug out bag, get your car if you think the car might be an interesting way. Learn what you need to know to survive the 72 hours in your climate conditions without bugging the emergency squads, to let them do their work and take the person that really risking their life in a stabilized condition. Then they gonna help you and they're gonna be happy to help you. So this is my personal prepping philosophy. You can, there are many other persons thinking about some other ways on prepping. It's up to them, and the last choice, it's up to you. I think that by now this is everything. Have a nice prepping, and thank you.